Hey everyone, and welcome to the Doctors Are Running podcast, where we, a group of doctors of physical therapy, talk about the art and the science of the things on our feet. Today, we have some incredible guests that have decided to join us. So Chris Brewer, Shunsuke, and Susan have been so kind to join myself and Dr. Myers talking about some really cool stuff that's coming from Mizuno, especially with a big focus on the new Mizuno Neo Vista. So, Andrea, I'm going to let you take this because we've got a really cool group here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I have been so excited by your new line of shoes this year. Definitely found my new favorite marathon racer in the Wave Rebellion Pro 2, which I have here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to race in it in Osaka because I got COVID 2 weeks before, but my next marathon is definitely going to be in the shoe, or maybe the 3, whenever that might come out. We'll see. The Flash 2 has become one of my favorite easy run shoes and performance trainers. I've got a ton of miles on it. Like, these shoes have really kind of been game changing for me as a midfoot striker, because so many shoes just don't feel designed for the way I run, but these shoes definitely do. And then, of course, the Neo Vista has been really exciting to test. I've really been enjoying putting some miles on it the past several weeks. Same kind of feel, although it's definitely a different shoe than the Rebellion Pro and Rebellion Flash. But I just can't wait to hear your input on how these shoes were designed, what you had in mind when you came up with the pretty radical heel design of the Pro and the Flash. So again, welcome. And I think we should start off by Susan and Shunsuke telling us a little bit about yourselves, what your role is at Mizuno. So, Susan, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Susan. This is my American nickname. So, my actual name is Ayako, by the way. And I've been working for Mizuno like 15 years already. Then I've been doing running footwear planning for over 8 years right now. So, I've been working on and creating a lot of stuff at Mizuno already. So I'm so excited to be with you guys today and excited to talk about our shoes and history. Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much. And Shunsuke, what is your role at Mizuno?
Nice to meet you. I am Shunsuke Roy, the manager of the product planning of running footwear, global headquarters base. And now I am leading the footwear planning and the footwear design of running shoes. Then I was in charge of making this kind of new lineup collection, right? Where Rebellion and the Neo Vista. I'm the planner of these models, so I feel very excited to introduce our model to you guys. Yeah, thank you for giving me the good opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And I know that we're spanning many time zones here from New York all the way to Japan. So this is pretty cool that we've all been able to get together and record this. So we have so many questions for you about your shoes, but I think a big question that we all often have between ourselves and also from listeners is you've got a few different types of Inner-Z foam. There's Inner-Z Light, Inner-Z Light Plus, and now the Neo Vista has Inner-Z Light Next. So can you tell us what the differences are between these foams and how you choose which ones to use in your various shoes?
Yeah, so firstly, thank you for paying attention to our midsole foam. So we have several types of foams in the Mizuno Energy lineup. So Mizuno Energy and the Right Plus and the Core and Next. Shortly say, the Mizuno Energy is a very standard type, the responsive and the soft material for running shoes. Then, the Right Plus is a lighter weight version for the speed model, like Wave Rebellion Pro and Flash. And Core is the softest and most responsive material, and that is used for Wave Sky and Wave Horizon, that kind of the luxury shoes. And Next is the newest one for us. This is, basically this is a replacement of the Core. Because the Core has the softest and the most responsive feature. But on the other hand, it's a little bit heavier material when compared with the other material. So this time we made Mizuno Energy Next, and the first introduction of the product is Neo Vista. This is a very soft, responsive, and lightweight material. Then, some of the models we will launch later this year will be use this material instead of energy core. But even we remove energy core inside of the midsole, so we have the more softer feel and more responsive feel. That will be the new Energy Next material. So basic material has energy, and right for us is a 4-speed model, and next is the next generation of luxury model midsole for the daily trainers.
Can you tell us what shoes coming out later this year will have Energy Next in them? Maybe
that might be one of those questions we said.
Nickname, but I can say that our main daily trainers will be replaced to Energy Next.
That's going to be interesting. And are those shoes coming out this summer, this fall?
A few days after.
Yeah.
Weeks after. Yeah, very soon.
I was really struck by just the different feel of Energy Next compared to any of your other foams. I mean, one of the things that's really great about the Neo Vista is for a super trainer, it's very lightweight, but it's still quite soft, but also responsive, which you don't really list all of those features in a super trainer. Usually you've got either a soft shoe, but it's heavy, or a responsive shoe, but it's firm. But this shoe really surprised me that it kind of had all three. It was light, it was responsive, and it was cushioned. And it seemed to me that the big split in the midsole played a big role in that feel of the shoe, because it kind of lets the midsole expand out when you load it. Is that correct? Is that kind of how you designed it to perform?
Yeah, actually, as I said, in today's market, the softness and responsiveness and lighter weight, everything is very important for super trainer. Yeah, and so we need to take care about how we can take the balance of these three key features of the shoes. Then, this time, the lightness of the Neo Vista is actually coming from Vivarium Pro. Yeah. So this time, we made this shoe based on Vivarium Pro. Yeah, so this is really lightweight shoes. Then, so we arranged this shoe to the daily training. So bringing the technology and innovation of Neo Wave Vivarium Pro to the daily training is a mission for the development of Neo Vista. Then, actually, this construction contributes to the lighter weight and the more energy output, and this is coming from Vivarium Pro. Yeah, the dynamic bottom sole geometry and the big groove and the center of the outsole is coming from this shoe, on this shoe. But actually, the feeling of Energy Next is also contributes to the softness and the responsiveness of this Neo Vista.
So although the Neo Vista is really meant as a daily trainer, although I would argue that it has lots of different things it can do, as I've been able to push it far faster than any super shoe I've ever had. It really, a lot of the inspiration comes from your racing line of going, how do we take these racing elements and give this into somebody who wants this in a daily training shoe?
Yeah.
Got it.
That's right.
You can certainly see the similarity in geometry between the Wave Rebellion Pro and the Neo Vista, but could you talk a little bit about the difference between the foams that you use in those two shoes? Because they certainly, the geometries aren't the same, but the foam has a very different feel between the two shoes.
Yeah, firstly, the geometry is a little bit arranged for the daily training speed. Yeah, we have very aggressive geometry of the bottom sole and aggressive foot angle. This is actually the 11 degree. So when you step in the shoe, so your foot is automatically arranged to 11 degree in this shoes. Yeah, but it is arranged for 5 degree in this shoe. The foot angle and inside of the Vista is a 5 degree, is a little bit, so low down arranged for the daily speed. Yeah. Then material energy next is a little bit arranged for the softer side based on the material on the Rebellion Pro. Yeah. For the racing shoes, of course, the responsiveness is the most prioritized, the feature or the midsole form. But sometimes it is too much response for the daily training pace. So we arranged the responsiveness feature of these form into a little bit more softer side, but still need to be lightweight. Yeah, that is the difference between the Neo Vista and Rebellion Pro. So all for race day, all for the training day is the big difference between these two shoes.
So is it true that what I'm hearing is that the foams in terms of the composition is actually similar? However, you've modified some other factors to make it, to change things like resiliency or compression rates to make it want to more of a daily training shoe versus that race day shoe. So very similar foam compounds. Still, I'm guessing PIBA based, or I don't know if we can ask you that. So just let me know.
Yeah, technically the base material and the process of energy right and right plus and energy next is totally different.
Got it.
Yeah. So we use the supercritical material on the top midsole. This is the energy right plus.
Yep.
And the nylon base form on the bottom side, that is a energy right.
Yep.
But this time energy next is basically this is an EVA form. Not the supercritical, not the nylon base. But this time we carefully choose picked up the very special type of base material for this energy next. Then, actually, we did the tons of trial for making this new form. It was a long way to make this material. And now we are sitting on the innovation center beside the headquarters of Mizuno, Japan. Yeah. So we have a big lab and the backside of ourselves. Then so we did tons of trial and this innovation center. So pick up the base material and make form and testing the feature of the material. Then arrange the base material and the process again and again and again and again. Try and so many trials we did in this innovation center. Then when we make it softer side, usually that become heavier.
Right.
Then, and if we want to make it more responsive, usually it may be firmer side. So taking the balance between softness and the responsiveness and lightweight is very difficult, not easy for us. But tons of trial. So with the innovation center, quickly we made this new material. Yeah, this is still EVA material, but probably this is the best of best EVA material in Mizuno history.
I would agree that it's a very good EVA material. I mean, would you have guessed that it was EVA Matt?
No,
No.
Somebody mentioned that. I'm like, that's not. There's no way this is EVA. I'm going to take all my material science foam knowledge and throw it out the window because I don't understand anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
So everyone tried this shoe, felt that this is the supercritical material or nylon based or something, but this is still EVA material.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I need to go rewrite part of my review really quick. I'll be right back. I'm just kidding.
He'll do it later. So I'm glad you brought up the angle of the Wave Rebellion Pro and the Neo Vista, because I had a question about the differences between the shoes. So one, if you could tell us what the angle is in the Flash 2 and how it's different, but also how did your research lead you to those angles for the various shoes?
Yeah. The first, the Flash is a 6 degree. That means between these two shoes. Yeah. So race day option for the elite speed and the training option. And Flash is in between these models. 11 degree, 5 degree, and 6 degree is the Flash. Okay. The Flash is still 5 degree. Yeah. The same degree with the Vista. But the feeling of midsole form and the width and the bottom sole is a little bit different. The flash is basically a race option and the speed training option. So its weight is relatively lighter weight than Vista. Yeah, but basically the shoe character is between these two shoes. Race day and training and speed training, or the race day option for the little bit lower speed runners. Okay. Then, yeah, how we decide the angle of foot bottom sole geometry of Liberian Pro, it is very secret point of Mizuno development. Then this is really good opportunity to tell you about something about this development. Probably you don't know much about these shoes, but this
we do. We both want to run in it. Yeah.
I actually, Bach, one of our like social media managers, had to keep telling me, Matt, do not buy those on eBay. Do not buy those on Rakuten. Leave it alone. It's not available in the US. Don't review that yet. So yeah, we do know.
Yes. Yeah. We're big fans, even though we haven't run in it. Yeah.
This super aggressive geometry shoe is mainly made for the Japanese market 2 years ago. Yeah. And this is the beginning point of our bottom sole geometry history. Yeah. And this shoe was not made from running shoes. This is made from track spike. Yeah. The beginning point of development has started in 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah, one development guy breaks through the idea. So if we can run with the sprint spike for the marathon distance, that will be the fastest racing shoe ever. Because for the short distance, this is the best shoes. So we understand. So we cannot run marathon distance with these shoes. So without any cushion and too aggressive geometry. But if we can extend its distance with a cushion material like this, so that will be the best speed shoes ever. That is a beginning concept of this aggressive geometry. Okay. Then we researched tons of elite runners' the foot angle, and especially in the running phase and the kicking phase. Yeah. And most of the elite runners run in the middle to forefoot, then kicking on this angle. And average angle of this running and kicking was between 16 degree to 12 degree. Yeah. But most of the running shoe in the market is very flat. So that means, when runners run on in the running phase and the kicking phase, there are space on this side. And if we can fill this space with a very responsive form, so we can support push out sensation, not only from the forefoot, but also from the midfoot. That will be at extra pop on the underfoot in every step in the marathon distance. Yeah, that is a beginning point of this aggressive geometry. Then, when we decide actual degree and foot degree of the Liberian Pro and the Flash and the Vista, so we made tons of sample. Yeah, testing sample with 4 degree, 5 degree, 6 degree, 8 degree, 9, and 11. That kind of test sample we made and did a test with the elite athletes. And for the fastest speed, most runners choose the 11 degree, the most aggressive geometry for the fastest speed. But for the middle speed, they preferred the 6 to 8. Yeah, that kind of trial and get feedback from the athletes and the very authentic process of development of the performance running shoes. And we did with so many Japanese elite athletes. So I brought the tons of sample to the training place for the elite university or the place in the mountainside. Then I got a tons of feedback from more than 100 to 200 testers. Yeah, then decided the degree. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah, the
test
process,
any
yeah.
shoes at like greater than 11 degrees? Is the Wave Duel Pro greater than 11 degrees?
This is actually 11 degree.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh.
but the heel area is too short and too aggressive,
Yep.
and we extend.
Yep.
It's to keep the angle, but extend this support area into more heel side. Yeah, that creates additional stability on the midfoot side. It is very difficult to run marathon distance with the shoe Susan has in her hand. But so we extend its distance to the marathon distance with the additional platform on the hillside.
That makes a lot of sense. What do you find athletes use the Wave Duel Pro for? Shorter races, like 5K and below, or is that what you intended it for?
Depends on the case. But sometimes they run the 5K or 10K. Then the best for these shoes, we needed to do the test with the marathon distance. So some runners run the marathon distance for the testing and get the feedback from them. And fortunately, we have a really good marathon races in our internal development team. Some of them engineers are really good runners and doing tests with the external Mizuno athletes and the internal Mizuno engineers. So do mixing the feedback from the both side is really good process to make performance running shoes.
Definitely. When you have someone who is both doing the running and the shoe developing, that's the best of both worlds. Now, did the angle change in version 1? Is version 1 11 degrees or is it less? Also 11?
Yeah, the Liberian Pro 1 is 6 degree.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I brought the 6 degree Liberian Pro 1 to the athletes, some of them are very satisfied with its speed. But some of the athletes, so it is more elite side runners, are not satisfied 100% for that speed. Then I changed the degree to more aggressive one to get more speed. So now they are very satisfied with this aggressive geometry. And the benefit and the feeling of Liberian Pro 1 was the actual hint of Neo Vista. Yeah. Because so when I brought the Liberian Pro 1 sample to the elite athletes, so after the hard training session, so they didn't feel so tired compared with the shoe with the other shoes. So even they did a very hard training, the next day they felt not so tired, especially for the calf muscle. Yeah, that was the beginning point of development of Vista. That was a very good impression for us. Then I felt the benefit of smooth speed assist, the bottom so geometry, is good for race day, but it's also good for training day. Then bringing that technology and innovation to daily running, the training session could be may work and the market for elite athletes. That is a beginning point of Neo Vista development.
Andrew, you mind if I ask a question here?
Go ahead.
So the talk of geometry is making me really excited because one of the very unique things about the Neo Vista is you managed to combine an incredibly soft and responsive foam with a geometry that is not unstable. It's actually fairly stable. So I'm really curious. And I know we could talk about the plate, and I'd also like to give Mizuno a shout out. You've been using plates longer than anybody else, right? So this is just this in the Ride and the Inspire. Mizuno was the original ones. Some of the original ones using plates. Yeah. What? What did I? Andre?
Oh, just start over, Matt. You froze for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Neo Vista, the geometry, talking about the angulation and things like that. I'm really curious how you took a shoe that was so soft and responsive and also made it stable. Now, this is still a neutral shoe, and I get that, but I'm curious how you utilize a combination of the plate geometry and some of this to actually make this still feel stable, which I'm assuming that's when you talk about like the angles of the foot and trying to keep things a little bit more centered. I don't know if I asked that question very well, but how did you use the plate and the geometry to make this more stable than typically soft shoes are?
Yeah, the stable ride is really important. The features for today's running shoes, and Susan is the actual specialist of stability and
All
Mizuno
right.
development team. So because now she is in charge of the stability daily trainers like Wave Inspire or Wave Rider or Wave Sky or that kind of models. So it is very good opportunity to talk about stability from student side.
Okay. Yeah. So using a wave plate with a soft material is our unique point. Then usually the plate using a plate that makes the shoe really firm, but we have to adjust the midsole geometry to make it more bouncier, softer. Yeah, while using a wave plate. So those aggressive cutout of the outsole is one of those features. So because of those cutout, that helps to deform the midsole, but the bounce back with a wave plate responsiveness. And these combination, we've been developing a wave plate for over 25 years now. Then our engineers, many engineers worked on cutouts and shape the midsole geometry. Then found out what is a good balance for this. And then talking about the wave plate, we started with this really wavy wave plate. This is started in 1997. This is the original one. Then we changed a lot of shapes and materials, and found out what's the best shape, what's the best angle, best material.
Numbers of wave.
Number of wave. They used one. Yeah. So then also one of the best feature, the very important point of the wave plate is the stability. So we have a best width and length balance of the wave plate that can deliver a nice stability. So that's what we have developing.
Yeah. So in today's market, the running shoes with plate is very common in today's running shoes industry. But so we have probably the longest history with the running shoes with plate. So because the first wave rider was come in 1997, that means more than 25 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. Then so we made so many tons of development that created so many types of wave in the history. And it's really good momentum for us to be the running shoes with plate is very common in the market.
Yep. So that I apologize that I cut out, but that's that I was saying that Mizuno has the most experience with plates because you've been doing plated shoes before pretty much anyone. Although there's a couple people in like early 90s, 80s, but Mizuno was the original group that was doing that. So what I'm hearing is it's not just the foam, and it's very easy as a consumer to go, oh, it must be the foam that's giving the softness. It's the geometry of this being able to split. It's also the plate being able to deform correctly that actually adds to the combination of the responsiveness and softness. So it's not just foam that can create that soft feel. It's the combination of all the factors together that will do that. And so that's why maybe that's why I'm going, oh, this has to be a supercritical PIBA-based foam. You're like, no, it's an EVA foam. So now that makes sense. Now I get it.
Yeah, because of the wave plate, the responsiveness is quicker.
Yeah, the combination of foam and construction.
Now, can I ask, in terms of how you set up this central groove, I noticed that the forefoot, the medial aspect is filled in. Is that intentional? And can I ask what that's for? Because I have a hypothesis, but I might be wrong. I'm just curious.
Yeah. The area of forefoot is a little bit length from the Wave Duel Pro to be more stable. So for the middle foot to the forefoot, so it should be more wider than Wave Duel Pro. because in order to make stable ride during all of the training session, so we need a stable feeling on the midfoot to forefoot more. And actually, the net base of Neo Vista is really wide. So when we compare with a Wave Rider, our standard very trainer, and the forefoot and the rear foot is 4 millimeter wider. Then in the midfoot, 25 millimeter more wider. Yeah, so very wide, but still lightweight because of the feature of Mizuno Energy Next compound and the big groove on the center of outsole.
I was very impressed because a lot of times I always want a wider midfoot because I'm someone who typically needs stability. That's why I love the Wave Horizon so much. Ayako, by the way, I have like 150 miles on this shoe, so I really am enjoying it. So one of the challenges a lot of companies, obviously, the midfoot width will impact the stiffness of the shoe. And so I was very impressed that you managed to make a very wide midfoot without making without negatively affecting the transition. So that comes into, again, I'm assuming you're using not just the width to change how it transitions, but also the plate, the foams, everything has to be tuned at each point of the shoe. So I'm assuming different parts of the plate are tuned very differently then. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, so that's why we make a lot of different shape geometry. Even inside of the wave. This is a rider wave plate, but we changed the thickness and the small detail, the shape of the wave plate by the model.
Getting back to Matt asked a question that I was actually interested in. I don't know if it came across correctly, but the way that you designed the cutout in the forefoot, where it's more laterally biased and the medial part has more, it doesn't have a cutout on the medial side. For me, that made it feel like it was easier to transition into push off, like it helped me load my first MTP joint. Was that design intentional? Was that what you meant to do by biasing the cutout towards the lateral forefoot?
So for the neutral runners, they run on the lateral side, then transition through to the forefoot medial side. So that's why we always focus on this streamline. Then where people usually kick really hard is this area. So we widen this area compared to the lateral area. So exactly that's what you say, probably.
How we can make smooth body transition from running to kicking, and design behind of this also.
Yeah, that's definitely how it felt running in it.
We're always looking for shoes that we can suggest that create unique forms of stability at each part of the foot. Frequently, the front of the foot, where I forget, by the way, that frequently in Japan the term kick is used. Often in the United States, or at least on I have to realize the West Coast and East Coast can sometimes different. We'll typically use terminal stance or propulsion for kicking. For those listeners, I know you two know this, but finding something that creates guidance and stability at the forefoot is rare. I personally feel that isn't always focused on. So it's a very unique point and really helps emphasize that this definitely is inspired by the Rebellion Pro 2, because you're still thinking, how can we facilitate, even at daily paces, a better transition while you kick? That's what I'm understanding. So perfect.
Yes, so smoothness is what we always respect the most. So the smooth transition from heel to toe is what we always focus on. That's the first priority we want to achieve with a shoe. So that transition streamline is we really focus on when we develop shoe.
I think now would be a good time to talk about the composition of your plates. So a lot of your plates are nylon based. I know the Rebellion Pro 2 has a carbon infused nylon plate, and I think a lot of runners have this misconception that carbon is always better. It's not. So can you talk to why you choose nylon for many of your shoes as opposed to a full carbon plate that's seen in other brands?
When you consider about the plate, especially for the carbon, So we have two choices. Yeah. So 100% pure carbon or nylon-based carbon infused. Yeah. And we choose the later one. Yeah. So because it allows us to make more flexible design. Yeah. So if we choose 100% of carbon, the shape should be very simple. So that means we cannot make this kind of detailed construction. Yeah. For example, the 2 dimension is only allowed to make the plate with 100% carbon plate. But we can make this kind of wing shape on the midfoot or wavy shape on this side and also this side. So this kind of 3D shape, so we can make with the nylon-based carbon-infused version. So, and the Rebellion Pro, so with this bottom sole geometry, so all of the runner can feel the extra additional pop on the midfoot. So that means we need extra stability on the midfoot. So that is the reason why we have the wing shape on the midfoot side. But if we choose 100% carbon plate, so we cannot make this shape in this area. So this time we choose the 3D shape more than 100% carbon material. That is the reason why we always use the nylon-based and carbon-infused or nylon-based glass fiber-infused, that kind of things. Yeah, that is probably the difference between other competitors and the market.
That's what happens when you have 25 plus years of experience with plates.
Yeah.
So thinking about the kind of the two lines you have now. So you've got the Neo Vista, you've got the Wave Rebellion Pro, the Wave Rebellion Flash 2, and then you've got your classic shoes like the Wave Rider, the Wave Horizon. How do you see those two very different lines of shoes fitting into your lineup in the future? Are we going to see your more classic 12 millimeter drop shoes becoming more similar to the Wave Rebellion and the Neo Vista, or are you going to kind of maintain these two different design lines?
Yeah. Very good question for us now. Yeah. Actually, basically, we keep both in the future, as well. That the reason why we created the new line, even we have the business driver like Wave Rider, Sky, and Inspire, and Horizon. The reason why we started the new line is definitely transform Mizuno running. Yeah. We feel for some people in the market side, Mizuno running was a little bit quiet for the past several years. So the competitors are launching tons of super shoes in the market, but Mizuno is always just having daily trainer, and especially in the US market. Okay? And we are not satisfied with that situation. And now is the chance to change consumer perception to the brand. And so with our technology and innovation, so we can bring the new experience to the runners. Then we needed to make the new line to change consumer perception and to bring new running sensation to runners. Then we started very aggressive shoes. This is the first prototype of our new line collection. Then extend that to the race day option and the training option. And we keep this new line as a new line. Okay. Then on the other hand, so we can bring some of the technology in this new line and the design philosophy to the current daily training line. So in next few weeks or next few months, you will be able to see our new basic collection with the updated material and a new design philosophy. Yeah. So making new, trying to the new thing with a new line and bringing that technology and the design to the standard line is what we want to do. And this year and next few years in the future. this is a big project in Mizuno running globally.
I bet. And it's going to be very exciting to see how you bring this new technology to your older, more classic models. So that'll be exciting to see.
I'm going to ask a really geeky question. Many of the listeners probably do not know about this, but I have been watching these shoes for years. So the shoes like the Mizuno Wave Emperor, for example, which I've known about for years, and a lot of the US customers don't know about that. Is that shoe going to evolve, or will that continue kind of as traditionally as it has been? I don't know if you can say.
Oh yeah. Yes, we will keep the Emperor because now the shoe is used for fast walking. I don't know how to say. And but WA, World Athletics rules has changed. So we have to follow their regulations.
Yeah.
So we need a thin shoe as well. But the market requirement has been changing, so we made some adjustment, but we still respect every thin shoes, and we keep having it. So if you want the shoe, we are here. Available is available.
Yeah. Not a large population the field athletes still need that kind of thin shoes for the several types of training.
Yeah.
To check the underfoot sensation. So when we use the thick midsole running shoes, it's very effortless. But on the other hand, the feeling the underfoot sensation is really difficult. Some athletes really need to know what is happening with the underfoot. So then, some of the training they want to use the thin sole, product. So we will keep that product for our running, but that will not be the mainstream.
I totally understand. And Chris, I'm really sorry if you suddenly get a bunch of asks for the Emperor in the United States. I'm sorry. I get it.
Blame Matt.
So, all right. I'll quiet down those questions.
We realize that you probably can't talk. We realize you can't talk too much into specifics about the lineup in the next few years, but where do you think super shoes are going? Do you think it's going to be more changes in shoe geometry, like what you've done with the Wave Rebellion Pro? Do you think it's going to be continued changes to foam? Is it going to be a little bit of both? Where do you see? There's our special guest here.
Yes.
So cute.
Yeah. The future of special shoes. Yeah. Everyone has probably different opinion, but my personal opinion is, still this rapidly the life cycle of super shoes will be continued in the few next years. So every single brand is very keen to create new form and new plate, the new geometry. So everything will be evolved in the next few years. And probably it will be more lighter weight and more responsive, and more soft side. Every single feature of the super shoes will be evolved. But we need to be the expert of bottom sole geometry. Probably not so many competitors are focusing on the importance of geometry. It is the opportunity for us, I think. So as a front runner of the geometry expert, so we will continue to see what is the best smoothness for the speed runners. And when we update the materials feature, so the bottom sole geometry should be arranged for that features. So if we can make more responsive midsole material or softer midsole material, so we need to arrange the bottom sole geometry to fit to that midsole material. So that kind of very steady update we need to do for the super shoe performance in the next few years. That's probably, most of the people have different opinion in the market. So everyone has a personal opinion. Chris, how do you think about the future of super shoes? Do you have any opinion?
I think it's going to continue to evolve. I think everyone's going to race to find the lightest, most responsive blend of material or foam that they can. I do think one of the things that I love about what Shunsuke and Susan do is they don't rush to market with something just because it's happening right now. And I think you see the result of that of an EVA based midsole foam that literally every reviewer almost to the person has said, this is some sort of PIBA. This is some sort of nitrogen infused. We haven't corrected anyone yet because it's been so fun to watch it happen. But this is what the brilliance of what our team does. Like they're constantly looking at what's next and then how to bring it to life. And I think the secret sauce of what our team does differently and better than everyone else is this foot angle science and geometry that no one else is talking about. They're talking about stack heights and midsole widths and trying to get a light foam, which is great, right, to a degree. But the feeling we're getting from the market is too soft can be too soft and too high can be too high. And so our team has taken more time than ever, right? We just talked about how long they took to develop the Vista midsole material based off of what was happening with the Rebellion series. And here we are, right, with this revolutionary EVA, right, which no one would have thought could have happened. But that's what we do, right? And that's what we bring to the table: geometry, wave plates, midsole materials, all the stuff. And it really has to be a combination of all those things. But the thing that they do best is they know exactly what the needs of the runner are, and then they build the product to that. And then when you put it on the foot, like we've done with Vista over the past 30 days, the reaction's been nothing short of phenomenal, right? But that's because they know exactly what they're building and who it's for, and they can almost predict what the reaction will be based on the ingredients they put together and the recipe they build based on the need of that runner. So that was a lot of words there, but what they do is really amazing because it isn't, Matt, you said it earlier, it isn't just foam. It isn't just geometry. It isn't just plates. It's all that together with the special sauce that only Mizuno brings to it with the science behind it. And then you have the results you have that you're starting to see. And Andrea, you've seen it this year, right? Our shoes were okay for a long time, but this year we've had these breakthrough moments with people running in our shoes going, holy cow, I can't believe this is a Mizuno. And the reaction it's been fun for us to watch, right? The business will follow, but we love putting runners in the right shoe so they can have a great experience underfoot. And we stand for smoothness in everything we build. And you're starting to see it, and you'll see as Shunsuke and Susan update models over the next year and a half, it's going to be a fun ride.
Well, thanks for letting us down easy with how wrong we were about the foam. So appreciate it.
Hey, everyone was. It wasn't just doctors.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Matt, do you have any final questions for the team?
No, I think everything's been answered, and I feel like we have to have another like follow-up podcast to this for Andre and I to process everything that we've just been told, because it does emphasize, and this is not a question, it does emphasize that going forwards, and what the most obvious thing is that optimizing shoes now is not just about a single factor. It's not about just foam. It's not about just geometry. It's not about just a plate. It's not even about like even certain part of the plate. It's how do you blend all these together to make that magic? How do you get the best combination of those? And I think you have done that very well. So it's very appreciated, and appreciate you taking the time to help us realize that and go, oh, this is a far more complex equation than we might have even fully understood. So no questions. It's been great. So if there's no further questions, we are going to land this. So we really appreciate all of you coming on. Ayako, Shunsuke, Chris, thank you so much for your time. You can find all of them, I'm sure, on various forms of LinkedIn. But if you want to find us, this will be available in all of the normal forms, be it Spotify, be it iTunes. You will also have this on YouTube as well for those who want to see this, for those of you who are listening, because you can always watch my great facial expressions, because I'm always and then you can see Isabella as well. But as always, you can also find our other content. We are always putting additional stuff up there, be it Instagram, be it Facebook. And that might be a good place to end it there as Isabella continues to pull out the wires.